Welcome back, everyone. All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're diving straight into the very heart of human connection, unpacking the incredible philosophy inside Chapter 26 of Morals and Dogma, often called the Prince of Mercy. Now, we're shifting gears a bit today towards something super actionable. We're looking at the real-world dynamic between justice, empathy, and forgiveness. It's not just theory. It's about how these ideals actually build a more humane world. Let's get into it.
So think about this for a second. What does it truly mean to show mercy? We toss that word around a lot, usually just meaning being nice, right? But the source text pushes back on that completely. It argues mercy isn't just some passive, warm, fuzzy feeling. It's an active choice. It's deciding consciously to choose compassion over harsh judgment. It's looking at someone who stumbled and saying, I see our shared humanity here, instead of just defaulting to punishment.
Section 1. Balancing justice and mercy.
Picture a pendulum. This right here is the core philosophical tension we're unpacking. Think of pure, unyielding justice, like a solid steel beam. It's strong, absolutely, but without any flexibility, it becomes totally brittle. Under enough pressure, it doesn't bend, it just snaps. That is the danger of too much justice. It turns into harshness and rigidness. Now swing that pendulum all the way to the other side. Pure mercy without any justice? That's like soft, shapeless clay. Sure, it yields, but it can't support any weight at all, leading to weakness and a complete lack of accountability. You simply can't build a functioning society or even a decent relationship on either of those extremes.
So where's the sweet spot? Well, true strength isn't at the extremes. It's smack in the middle. The ideal we're looking at, the Prince of Mercy, is someone who absolutely masters this balancing act. They use mercy to soften the harsh, brittle edges of fairness, and they use justice to give real structure to their compassion. It isn't about throwing out the rules, It's about actually applying those rules with humanity.
Section 2. Empathy is not weakness.
Too often we see empathy painted as a passive trait, maybe a concession, or worst of all, a weakness. But this text completely reframes that idea. Empathy is an active, formidable strength. Literally, it takes incredible emotional intelligence and a ton of patience to actually pull off. It is the heavy lifting of building human connection. Honestly, shutting down and just judging someone, that's the easy way out. Empathizing is the real work.
So why exactly is it a strength? First off, it requires high emotional intelligence. You're navigating not just your own messy feelings, but someone else's too. Second, it demands patience. It takes real time to sit with someone's perspective instead of just knee-jerk reacting. And third, it builds stronger connections. Empathy is kind of like the mortar holding the bricks of our communities together. It's an intense, active process that really demands a strong character.
Section 3. The action of understanding.
Okay, so to actually act as a Prince of Mercy, you need a concrete toolkit. You've got to seek understanding before you react. Step 1 is listening actively. And I mean really listening to understand, not just silently waiting for your turn to talk. Step 2 is deliberately trying to see different perspectives, literally putting yourself in their shoes. And step 3, actively avoiding quick judgment. And that takes conscious effort, right? Understanding doesn't just magically happen to us, it's a muscle we have to flex. Because, let's be real, quick judgment is the absolute enemy of understanding. When we jump to conclusions, we're basically putting blinders on. We narrow our view, and inevitably, we just create harshness. To truly embody mercy, we have to force ourselves to hit the pause button. We've got to look at the context and reflect before we move forward. Basically, mercy always starts with self-awareness.
Section 4. The power of forgiveness.
If empathy is the foundation, then forgiveness is the incredible architecture we build on top of it. A lot of times, we think of forgiveness as this gift we only give to the person who messed up. But just look at the dual benefits here. Yes, for the person being forgiven, it brings emotional healing and a path to move forward. But what about the person doing the forgiving? They get a massive release from all that toxic resentment. They get internal growth. Forgiveness is a huge act of self-mercy just as much as it's an outward one. It literally heals both sides of the equation.
Section 5. Building a compassionate world.
Now, think about the ripple effect of all this. When you actually balance justice with compassion, when you treat empathy like the strength it is, and when you practice the really tough art of forgiveness, the results just compound. It starts small, giving you better, more authentic relationships. Then, those relationships weave together to form much stronger, more resilient communities. And finally, those communities become the bedrock of a much more humane society. That internal discipline of balancing the scales, it's the exact blueprint we need for building a better world.
Which brings us to this foundational quote from the text:
True strength is not in judgment, it is in mercy. Think about it. It takes literally zero effort to condemn someone. No courage at all to be rigid, but to see someone's flaws, to fully grasp their context, and to offer mercy while still holding on to fairness. Wow, that is the true mark of profound inner strength.
So I want to leave you with a final, kind of provocative thought today. How often do you actively choose understanding over judgment? Is there a situation right now where you're acting like that brittle steel beam? Or maybe someone in your life, actually maybe even yourself, that you need to forgive? Take these concepts, step right into the center of that pendulum, and just see how applying this active framework of mercy can transform your day-to-day life. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.